Thank you for joining us today for this special Earth Day presentation brought to you by the National Restaurant Association, Carpe Green'em, Seize the Savings. I'm your host, Chris Moyer, Policy Analyst for Sustainability and Social Responsibility for the National Restaurant Association, a manager of Conserve, Solutions for Sustainability. Today's presentation, I'm going to go over a couple quick Earth Day fact or fictions as it pertains to green and the food service industry, as well as leave you with one great return on investment tip brought to you in part by the EPA Energy Star and the Food Service Technology Center. Let's get started with our first fact or fiction today. The food service industry growing greener is just a marketing gimmick and a trend. That is fiction, as we found out in our 2008 industry forecast that every industry segment is investing more resources in green initiatives. That holds true in 2009. In spite of the current economic climate, we noticed that businesses are continuing to grow how much they are investing in green initiatives. Our second Earth Day fact or fiction is that consumers do not take food service operation's greenness into account when choosing where to eat. That too is fiction. We found out also in our 2009 industry forecast that 44% of adults said they are likely to make a restaurant choice based on their restaurant's practices in the areas of energy and water conservation. Our third and final Earth Day fact or fiction is it costs a lot of green to be green. And that's just fiction. There are great opportunities to see savings when it comes to greening your restaurant from a bottom line standpoint and also from an environmental standpoint. In this example, we see three completely different businesses. One's a 45-unit establishment, Kimpton Hotels and Restaurant Group. We have an independent operator out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, in Croc's Eco Bistro, and we also have Chris DeLander of Snappy Salads out of Texas, who's an up-and-coming small chain. And we're just going to kind of focus in on Chris's story here today about how he was able to save over $2,000 and 87,000 gallons of water just by installing one piece of equipment, making one change, a $75 investment of a low-flow pre-rinse spray valve. For those unfamiliar with what a low-flow pre-rinse spray valve is, it's this guy right here. You'll find him over by your dish tank. It costs about $75 to install one of these low-flow pre-rinse spray valves. We don't think much about it. We just use it to spray off the dishes before we put through the dish tank. But this one change can make a huge impact to your bottom line and a huge impact in environmental savings. We're going to tap into a great resource, fishnick.com, the Food Service Technology Center, who is a Conserve partner, and use the return on investment calculator today to show you what kind of savings can be seized just by making this one change. I'm going to walk you through their tool here. Their return on investment calculator on fishnick.com is a great tool, and what we're going to do is we're going to fill in here some very modest numbers for a hypothetical example, just so you can see how much you can save by making this one change. Conserve and the Food Service Technology Center, along with EPA Energy Star, is recommending that you install a 1.6 gallon per minute flow rate pre-rinse spray valve. To my understanding, most establishments are operating between like a 4 GPM and about 4.5 gallons per minute spray valve. When we go fill out the rest of this, we're going to use national averages, very modest numbers here, before we calculate these totals, comparing the old device and the new device. As you can see here, the old device uses substantially a lot more water than the device that we just installed. And also there's some other great savings that go along with this. Just from a bottom line standpoint, this $175 change, we were able to save $3,889 in operating costs, minus our investment of $75. It comes to a net of about $3,800 we were able to save just from installing this one piece of equipment. From an environmental standpoint, we were able to see savings of over 150,000 gallons of water. That blows my mind. We were also able to save over 28,000 kilowatt hours of energy. So, break it down really simple as possible. This $75 investment is just a change you cannot afford not to make in your establishment from a business sense and an environmental sense. This tip and more is going to be showcased this year at the National Restaurant Association Restaurant, Hotel, and Motel Show starting May 16th in Chicago. We will be launching the Conserve EPA Energy Star Challenge, and you'll be able to find this tip and more tips on how to not just save green, but actually be greener as establishments come this May. So you can sign up to be a part of the challenge starting May 16th, 2009 at conserve.restaurant.org. And I can't urge and can't stress enough that it really is our opportunity now to shine. It really is our time to seize the savings. We've learned everything that every penny, every cent counts, and there's a lot of opportunity here to really move forward in a very positive direction as an industry. I just want to leave you with this one message, though. Sustainability is an endless journey. It's day in and day out trying to be better. And I was on my way to work one day, and I heard this great quote came from a great golfer. And he was talking about, when is it time to hang up the golf shoes, so to speak. He said, when I get an 18 out of 18. He couldn't stress it enough that, you just never arrive in golf. You always go out there and you have to do better than you did the day before. And it's very applicable to what we do, and it's very applicable to sustainability. It's constantly taking a look in the mirror and finding those opportunities in which you can improve your business day in and day out. Can't stress enough the opportunity that's out there for us to really be a positive driving force in the sustainability movement as an industry. I just want to thank you for taking the time to join us today on this Earth Day, 2009. Make sure to keep posted and keep checking up on conserve.restaurant.org for more tips, tools, resources, success stories, case studies, everything you need to know about going green in the food service industry. Once again, I'm Chris Moyer, Policy Analyst for the National Restaurant Association and Manager of Conserve. I can't thank you enough for joining us today, and have a great day.